Tim Young, and if you want to see his shows, you have to get there early. There is such a long line. We did not get to see all of his shows, but remember, you also can see his clean show, and later there's more of a adult show. So keep that in mind. And I want to ask a few questions, and one of them is, what made you become a comedian?
Well, that's a deep question. What made me become a comedian? I mean, the surface question is that I was a class clown, and that I got involved in theater. And after I broke my hip in high school, my athletic career ended. So I got involved in theater and plays and stuff like that. In college, I was in an improv group for probably 4 years, and that laid the groundwork for stand-up. Because the improv group is sort of like stand-up, and the first stand-up I ever did, I was sort of doing improv on stage, just up there playing games by myself or doing characters or whatever. And then I transitioned into telling jokes, figuring out how to tell jokes in my own voice. And that's a process, finding your own voice. So that's the surface reason.
So where are you from?
I grew up in Virginia, in Hampton Roads, like Hampton, Virginia Beach, Newport News. And after college, I moved to New York City for probably 15 years, minus 2 years in LA. And yeah, I mean, that's the short version of it. But basically in New York, that's where I kind of wanted to dive into the comedy scene and make a name for myself. And I mean, who knows if I did that, but sort of. I've been working for a long time, so.
Well, I don't hear that in your voice, the New York. Did you live there very long?
I lived there for 15 years.
15 years, and I still don't hear that in your voice.
Yeah.
Usually after a while,
I actually got rid of my southern accent, and I never picked up a New York accent. But I can do it if I need to.
That's good, because I'm from Jersey, and I'm just saying, you know.
Oh yeah, I don't hear that all in your voice either.
Exactly. So that's impressive. I know it's kind of difficult.
Yeah, if you travel around, it's not an accent I want to carry around.
Yeah, it wasn't for me either.
I'd rather just be like an everyman and have no accent. Do them when I need to for comic effect.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So
at this point in the interview, someone opened the doors. Came inside, it got very loud, very distracting. This happened a few times during the interview. We attempted to try and get through it with little to no interruption in the interview, but unfortunately, sometimes things happen when you're on the road attempting to do things on the fly. Brenda's doing an awesome job of trying to adjust to these kind of distractions. As we go on with the interview, there are many more distractions as well.
I got it. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
All right, where were we? He's from Virginia.
I don't remember where I was going with that.
No, let's go on to another question. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll go on to another question.
3, 2, 1.
Go. So how long have you been a comic?
Well, you're asking to age me now, which I would like to be aged.
We're probably the same age.
I've been doing comedy full time for probably 25 years.
25 years.
About 25 years.
It's impressive.
Yeah, I consider it lucky, and also like I kind of got away with something.
Got away with
That's how I
something.
feel.
What made you?
Like I don't know. I mean, it's just a really blessed thing to be able to do the thing that you love for a living, you know.
Well, for me, when I see somebody up on stage, so many people say, "Oh, I can do that," but I know it's very difficult.
Yeah.
You know, make people laugh and right on you know. When you know people and you're talking in a conversation, it's totally different.
Yeah,
So.
a room full of strangers
Exactly.
is an interesting thing. I try to make them not. I try to make them not strangers very quickly. You know what I mean? So I try to pull everybody in and make it seem like I'm talking to a very small group of people, even if it's the big theater. I pretend like I'm talking to either one or just a few people. I like the intimate feel of that. So hopefully the crowd doesn't feel like a stranger after the first 3, 4, 5 minutes.
I like the way you bring everyone together on the show when we watched everyone. So the line was so long we didn't make it to the other shows. But what kind of there's different types of comedians, some that like tell stories and then some that just like have, you know, one-line jokes and stuff like that. What kind of comedian do you consider yourself?
My style kind of evolved, especially after I doing ships. after I started doing more ships, I started being more interactive. So I like ask a lot of questions, and I like to get weird answers from the audience, and then I weave my bits in and out of questions. So I'm asking leading questions sometimes to get to my jokes, and I think that's fun. It makes it look like the show is organic and it's kind of being made up on the spot, even though they know I'm not making it all up on the spot. Some people think I am, but it makes it more immediate and fun, which is what the fun of stand-up comedy is. You know, it's happening right then and there in the room.
Right.
You know, it's not a movie. Anything could happen.
So that makes each show really special.
It does.
I mean, it's always a little different depending on who you're talking to.
It does. I mean, for me, that's important for me too. I don't want it to get stale, and you know, there are bits that I love doing that I've honed and I know are going to get a big laugh, and I love doing them over and over again in that way. But still, I'm listening to the laughter and how people are responding, and it's really not a monologue, it's a dialogue that I'm having with the audience. Even if they're not speaking back to me, I'm listening to their laughter, and I'm kind of riding those waves, hopefully.
I like the way you, on the show we went to, the way that you throw those jokes right in the middle of asking people questions and playing on people.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. And the question that I have right now is, did you ever have trouble with your audience where all of a sudden it goes into a direction, it's like, wait.
Of course.
And to get back on track, I'm sure it can be difficult at times.
It can be difficult. I mean, that's the sign of a professional, when you can dig yourself a little hole and just get out of it quickly, you know. Really, we just keep going. You know, I know I have material in the pipeline that's eventually going to get a laugh. So if something doesn't get a laugh, or there's a bit of a dull moment, then we just keep going, and we eventually find our way back to the laughs.
Well, with you, there's never a dull moment, because I'm telling you.
There are. You just don't see them.
I just...
There are
not
micro
during the
moments
shows
that
I've
I
been
see.
to, people. Just saying, the shows I've been to, there's not.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, it's true. You're so funny. So is there anybody who has inspired you?
I mean, all the people in New York inspired me. I got to work with all the best people there. You know, we all went around to the clubs, and we do like 10 or 15 minute spots in those clubs. So we're hopping around doing like 3 and 4 spots a night. So I got to hang out with the best comics in the world, essentially, at that time. So without naming names, I mean, there's too many to name. When I was a kid, I sort of idolized Steve Martin and what he was doing back when he was doing stand-up. You know, as a kid, that felt really fun to me, and absurd and funny and playful, and I really like absurdity. So, and he was, you know, the king of that back then.
I agree. I really like Steve.
And so that's
Right.
before I even knew I wanted to be a comedian, really. I just kind of loved what he was doing. I remember I wrote away to him, and he sent me a signed headshot. I don't know if he signed it, but it was somebody signed it. And I had it on my wall for a while. And it's funny because he had his set list on the back of that thing, or on the back of the album or something. And I remember, because the set list is a very funny thing for a comic. You know, we all write our set list down. Not anymore, we type it in the phone, or I type it in the phone.
Kind of like my questions.
Yeah. But a set list for a comedian, I always joke, it looks like a crazy person's grocery list. It just doesn't sound right, any of the stuff. The things we name our jokes are sometimes highly inappropriate and crazy sounding, but they make sense to us.
So when you have to do clean shows on the Carnival cruises,
Mm-hmm.
as well as the more adult stuff. Do you find it more challenging to do the clean shows, the jokes and stuff for those?
I would say it is more challenging for me. Yeah, I can do those shows, and I kind of honed that when I was doing. I did a lot of colleges in my career. That was really my market for a long time, and I had a clean college show that I could do. So, meaning a clean hour that I could do for colleges. So I would get hired for a lot of like family weekends and Catholic schools and stuff like that, because I could do a clean hour. So I kind of honed that there, and it's fun to do. It's still fun, but we formed our acts in nightclubs, you know. So, and part of stand-up comedy is saying what doesn't get said out loud, and that's cathartic for the audience. And the clean show is more like entertainment. Stand-up, the adult shows are more like true stand-up to me. But some people would tell you differently. Some people like doing clean stand-up. It is more challenging for sure.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
assume it would be.
But I find like the bigger laughs, the belly laughs, when people are doubled over with laughter, they come in the adult show.
Well, even in the clean shows, I mean, most people, laugh at fart jokes.
It's true. It's true.
That's clean. So, but I would think that would be a little bit more difficult.
It's a little bit difficult. It's a lot like doing stand-up with one hand tied behind my back, because I can't use my full repertoire of like, say like there's a heckler, or even kids come to the show, like a 9-year-old kid. I mean, this happens pretty often, and they'll start interacting, and I start interacting with them, and they're heckling, quote unquote. But I can't really say to this kid what I would say to an adult,
right.
So I have to kind of stay within these parameters of niceness, and I try not to get mean, especially not with the kids, especially. So but darkness is funny, and that's why it's funny to like really put down a heckler, But the clean shows, I take that darkness out of it, the meanness anyway. I try never to be mean, but. What's going on with your phone? You lost the fingerprint?
It's his fingerprint.
It's his phone?
My phone.
He's the brains. I just look pretty. All right. Sorry, I
That's okay.
messed it up
No,
again.
You didn't hurt anything.
No, let's just go.
I can edit everything together. That's fine.
Oh, I'm so
You're going to edit
unprofessional.
a single shot, but I'd like to see that.
The software I have, I can just
You just chop it.
and
Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
We're ready.
Yes. Maybe not. Okay.
She's laughing at her own joke. She's
No,
having a little
I'm
inside
laughing at
comedy
myself
party.
because You do this all the time. To me, this is like.
No, I
this
don't.
is
I
like
don't do that many
crazy.
interviews.
No, but you stand up and talk in front
That's
of people.
true.
And I.
That's different.
I'm not
actually, when I'm up there, it's like a different. It feels like a different part of me, actually, than just
Really?
sitting down and having a conversation.
See,
It's like a split personality almost.
I could never do that. Maybe I need a new personality. But see, being from Jersey, I have my alter ego, Frankie. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But
Maybe you should interview in that voice.
maybe I should interview. So, what you doing today? What do you do on the
I'm
ship
not doing
when
a whole
nobody's
lot.
around?
No, I'm not doing nothing.
You do nothing? Well, I know you only work maybe 3 shows a day. So what do you do when you're not doing that?
I read, I work out, I do laundry, I go over my sets, which is painful sometimes. I record every show, which not everybody does, but I don't watch every show. But I record every show because I'm going to clip out little funny things on Instagram and stuff. But it's good also to watch my set because it's like we don't have a director. It's just us, you know what I mean? So we don't have a third eye. So when you watch yourself like that, you see little bad habits that you slip into sometimes. Even after doing it all these years, you can get like a little lazy and start leaning on the mic stand too much, and your voice or the energy that you're bringing, it can just slip down a little bit, and you can't really see it unless you watch it from the outside. So I like to watch it, even though it can be painful.
I know when I watch these things, it's kind of painful to see myself. So I get it.
Well, we're all self-critical in some ways. I try not to bring that into it, but it's good. It's good as a comedian, from the comedian standpoint, to watch and see, what's going on there. And sometimes I'll think of tags for my own jokes when I'm watching it from the outside like that.
So do you have any like bucket list of like things you want to do as a comedian? Any goals?
Gosh, I don't know. You know what? I'm happy where I am right now, but I'm trying to increase my social media presence and maybe get into some more clubs. I used to do more clubs than I do now. And I like ships, but clubs are a different muscle.
Yeah.
It's a different. I'm doing a club this weekend, and it'll be different because I do like more time, and it's a different audience. It's not as broad of an audience, It's like us. Hey, we'll be done in a minute. I don't think they need it.
That was it.
that was it.
That's all you got?
Questions? Oh, what is your favorite port? Do you have a favorite port? Or are you allowed to answer that question?
Yeah, of course. Gosh, I have to think about that.
I know you travel all over.
I mean, I really love the Alaska ports, and I try to do that once a year because I like to hike. I always say that I'm not a sand and beach person. I don't like sand at all. It gets on everything and gets everywhere.
That's on our bucket list too.
And I don't like salt either. So getting in the salt water makes me feel actually dirty.
Yeah.
So I feel like to shower. But on the Alaska ships, I'll get off and I'll hike. And I love being in the forest. And I'll get into a forest stream any day if I can. and I love like taking a bath in the forest. It's one of my favorite things.
How long have you been doing Carnival cruises?
About 10 years, more or less. I've been doing Carnival, and it's been good. They treat us pretty well, and you know these big ships just came out, and they're more fun and more work and a bit more challenging, and.
Yes, this is a very, very big ship, but I'll tell you what, every time that we left your show, there's already some huge line waiting for you.
Yeah.
For the next show.
Well, that's good. I can't take all the credit for that. I mean, maybe if I've been on for a few days. Comedy is just very popular on the ships, I think. And, you know, people love to come and laugh, and that's why people are on vacation, to have a good time, and that's what we're doing. Hopefully it's causing laughter.
Oh, definitely. I know you do.
I hope so.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen you on the Magic? No, it was the Horizon. Well, anyway, one of the other
Horizon,
ships.
probably.
Yeah,
Horizon?
Yeah, I haven't been on the Magic in a while. It was probably the Horizon. I get on the Horizon in about 4 days, actually 5 days.
Well, there is a line for you on the Horizon as well.
Again, I do not take credit for that. There's a line for the buffet too, so I don't know.
That's true.
So I don't know if it's just something else to do on the ship, but hopefully I'm entertaining people. I try my best. That's why I'm up there. I want to make people laugh.
Well, thank you so much. And this was great for you to spend all this time and answer our questions
Of course.
and hang out with us.
Of course, anytime.
And so...
Anything you want to promote?
Oh, yeah.
Anything I want to promote? Well, you could go click on my dry bar special if you want. I do have a dry bar. I did it probably the first or second season that they were doing those things. It's called What World Is This? And it was fun. If you like clean comedy, it's a fun like 35-40 minutes. I'm pretty proud of that. I might do another one at some point, but we'll see.
And do you have a thing on YouTube? Is that what you said?
I have an Instagram where I put all my clips, and that's Tim Young Live. So Tim Young Live, no spaces. People Google Tim Young, and unfortunately there's another Tim Young very popular on Twitter, but we are exact opposites. And you can go look at us both online, and you can figure it out for yourself. So Tim Young Live is all my social media.
You got a Facebook page as well?
I have a Facebook, but it's more personal
Gotcha.
stuff. Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right.
So look him up, follow him, like him, share him, whatever you do on that
Yes, please.
Instagram. And remember, you deserve a great vacation. Let Blue Planet get you there. Bye for now.